Hello, everyone, and welcome to the definitive classic movie and video game podcast. Welcome to the Action Hero Arcade. I am one of your hosts. My name is Al.
Line? I stared at that camera way too long. I'm Adam.
I love the idea of an assistant behind the camera sitting there going, "Your name is Adam. Just say your name is Adam."
Just pointing aggressively at cue cards, like,
Oh, man.
just says my name real big. That'd be great.
This is autistic people are going to love this podcast.
It's going to be incoherent ramblings for the next 90 minutes.
Dude,
folks. So everybody latch on.
So Adam, what is this? What are we doing right now?
We are going to offload our childhood on all these poor people because we've seen all these games or seen all these movies, played all these games too long and have too much to talk about.
It's taken up too much.
Listen anymore.
Yeah, it's taken up way too much space in the gray matter, and it's time to unload it and make it everyone else's problem. I understand.
Exactly.
No, I appreciate you doing this with me. I'm honored. It is nice to be able to, often to get the ability to just sit down and actually talk about something fun and not have, you're talking about the news and you want to jump off a bridge. It's just So let's talk about Steven Seagal and also make people want to jump off. No, it's just
I love that this is the first time we've collaborated on anything.
Yeah.
After knowing each other for what, 25 years?
We've been friends most of our lives. We grew up together in the same town. We went to school together. We were in Boy Scouts together. It's crazy. Yeah. You know what? The first time we've ever done anything special together, and thank you, bad
I don't
movies.
Yeah.
Ow now, brown cow.
Yeah, I think this will be, whether anybody wants to listen or not, we think we're important enough to tell people, because why not?
You know what, dude? I bet people feel this way. When you talk about these movies, it's hard not to have a similar feeling, especially when you're talking about a movie like we're talking about for our very first episode, 1987's Over the Top. That's what this is. This is how this podcast is going to go, over the top, Adam.
I think that's a good precedent as this being our first film, because all these things that we plan to do, I mean, there's ideas for other media to get involved, I think, down the road possibly, but none of it is going to be objectively good. I want everybody to know that. It's going to be what we think's great for different reasons.
Yes.
And
which equates to it being great, by the way. That's what that means.
Yeah, that's true. It's everyone's perception, right? I think the best part of this is just trying to justify why we pick these movies, the good points about them, and also
justifying to our families why we own so many action figures as adult men.
Yeah, I don't know if you. Oh yeah, I was gonna say I have Hulk somewhere here.
Yeah, you got Hulk behind you. I got Chris Jericho up here.
I don't know if you can tell, but I got Martin Brodeur right here on my speaker.
Dude, Brodeur was the man. I'll give him credit. He was the man.
And he was the last person they changed the rules for, so he had to do something.
That was the last era of hockey where I was like, I really loved hockey. Like, I really loved hockey in that when those guys were playing.
I was in the mood to play a hockey game last night, and I put in NHL 14, and it has Brodeur on the cover, and I was like, holy crap. This is
what a gentleman.
When I watched hockey. Now it's like, I don't know what happened to me in sports.
I think we're getting old, Adam. That's ultimately what we're old. We're getting old, and we care less and less about everything around us.
Except bad media. So let's get into this before we get off track.
I'm so excited. All right, so Adam, I would like to start a motif with these podcasts where every time we do one, I would like, if you don't mind, if you could do me the honor of reading me the back of the original VHS cover.
I will certainly do that. And,
I'm so excited.
Maybe in the future I'll try and hunt down the actual VHSs so I can do like a wall or something here, the stupid stuff we've watched.
Yeah, I love the words you're trying. We're trying, people. The reality is we kind of talk like truckers, and we're trying not to. We're trying to be professional about this. But if you hear a cursey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
world.
it's going to be from me, and the filter's gone. I'm sorry.
Adam's so unhinged. All right, I'm sorry. Let's go on with the back cover, please.
Yes. So the whole reason we brought you here tonight is Stallone goes over the top to be champ, and that's in red, so you know it's good. Uh, his his four Rocky sagas had all America applauding at ringside. Now, Sylvester Stallone gives us another reason to stand up and cheer, starring as a down on his luck big rig trucker Lincoln Hawk, and taking us under the glaring Las Vegas lights for all the boisterous action of the World Arm Wrestling Championship.
And boisterous it is.
Like Stallone's Italian Stallion in 1976's Academy Award-winning Best Picture Rocky, Lincoln Hawk is an amiable underdog, a David in the world of Goliaths. Relying on his wits and willpower, he struggles to rebuild his life, going against the odds as he goes after the World Arm Wrestling Championship first prize money and the love of the son he abandoned years earlier. Just snuck that in.
Yeah, just snug. That's the whole plot of the movie, but just slide
Right.
it in real.
Just get ready for excitement as Stallone lands another knockout action film punch, and get ready for good times as you meet a colorful, iron-armed gallery of arm wrestling giants like Rick Zumwalt, the real-life California champion, who squares off with Stallone in a to-the-limit finale. Zumwalt explains his fascination with the tension-packed sport this way: I can shake a guy's hand, and then I can try and rip his arm off. After the match is over, we can laugh about it. You've got guys from MIT and guys who can't spell MIT, says Stallone, trying to spell MIT, about arm wrestling's broad appeal. That appeal and more is vividly captured here. After Over the Top is over, don't be surprised if you want to watch it again. Now that bit is true. I mean, you're going to want to see it, probably for different reasons. But
Yeah, honestly, no matter. I mean, you can come at this film open-minded. You can come at this film real cynically, and you're going to get something out of this. There's no doubt in my mind that you're going to leave this film with something, one way or another. I love the way this movie's shot. I love a lot of the people in the movie. And so, of course, you got Stallone leading the pack because he's coming hot off of Rocky 4. He's coming hot off of
he did the
Rambo.
Rocky movie? They should have mentioned that.
Yeah, they should have mentioned it 17 times while talking about another film. But this is also him coming hot off of Cobra. And that's another movie. I hope we talk about Cobra someday because that's a great one too. But I think it's interesting because Cobra starts a new business relationship with Stallone, and you ultimately get over the top because of that.
I mean, yeah, he has a screenwriting.
Yeah, well, so yeah, if you watch Over the Top, it almost sounds like someone wrote a movie like Mad Lib style, and then Sylvester Stallone was allowed to say whatever he wanted. That's how I felt watching a lot of this movie, where the other people around him are reading the script that was written for them, and Stallone either didn't read it, doesn't care, and he just starts talking about how life isn't fair and his own weird. And if you could probably take similar dialogue from Rocky and just soundbite it into this one, and it would fit like a puzzle piece.
I mean, it's not like either one of those characters were, real talkers to begin with.
Well, you know what? And I'm cool with guys being caricatures. I'm cool with guys sticking to their, like, I like Walken being Walken in every movie he is. I like Stallone being Stallone in every, like, I enjoy that personally, but I can see why that could be tiresome for some people after a while. But if you like Rocky, there's a huge chance you're going to like this movie because, to me, they're very similar. They're very similar films.
I guess I never thought about that as much as the back of the cover.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
hey, by the way, Adam, are you aware that Sylvester Stallone was also in Rocky?
You don't say. Really? All four of them?
Yeah, up until the new ones where we'll get into that someday, but that's like a blood feud now. It's brutal.
I think it's I guess they're similar in the like underdog bit, but like there there had to have been a conscious effort in this movie to like just go ridiculous. Like at no point did they truly think they were making like a great film. Like I
You know
can't
what?
believe it.
I can see where you're coming from. I think it started that what they were trying to go seriously. When you cast a guy like Robert Loggia, R
Oh,
for
yeah.
Robert Loggia, O for oh hey, there's Robert Loggia. No, no. So they cast a guy like, and I love Robert Loggia, but as soon as after we get to Robert Loggia, the cast starts dropping into this crazy, almost professional wrestling level zone where there actually is a professional wrestler casted in this movie. One of my favorites, Terry Funk, where he plays one of the henchmen for Robert Loggia. And the whole movie, I'm waiting for it, like, speak, say something, damn it. And then finally he has the speaking role. I'm like, there you go. Finally, he gets his acting credit.
I think the inclusion of actual arm wrestlers was pretty cool too. Like to
Yeah.
get some no names in there. But I guess before we start, dang, that earbud keeps falling out. Before we keep dissecting it, let's walk through it. Let's do
Yes,
that.
yes, please.
Trying to keep people on track. So, we have the opening shot of countryside and a truck.
That's
And
so the B shots where the Stallone and the real director didn't have to work that day. They had the day off to go play golf, and another crew went out and filmed canyons and sunrises and trucks and American flags until we ultimately get to the beginning of what I like to call our little sweaty adventure, because boy, this is a sweaty movie, and it starts to sweat right from the beginning.
I
Stallone
think
looks
it's
like he smells bad. I'm just from the beginning of this movie, he looks like he smells
that
bad.
whole cabin probably smells awful. I think the crew must have had. I think the A crew must have had a lot of days off because a lot of this movie is long, sweeping shots of trucks and
Yes.
just.
Well, it's a good. You
Um,
know, if you look at a lot of these B films, and I'm sorry, there. This was actually like a big studio release with Warner Brothers and Canon Films. So I'm sorry for
just
calling it a B
flops.
film, but it is. It has a B film energy, and so much of it, I think, is hey, the action stars in his trailer. And we have like 15 more minutes on the cutting room floor that we got to take care of. Like, go out with a crew and film some trees and stuff, please.
I love. I love more than that. The songs that they picked.
Oh, this is very MTV. This is a very MTV of that era movie. I don't want to. I don't want to say it's weird when you say MTV now because you think of like reality shows in Jersey Shore. When I say MTV, I mean this from start to bottom. This is a rockin' soundtrack with Sammy Hagar and Kenny Loggins, and it really has that power rock energy.
On this? Are they actually in the soundtrack, or is it like background radio noise? Because the only songs they seem to focus on are these super vague pieces of, I guess, it's song that just oddly describes in the vaguest way possible exactly what's going on with the scene.
That's a description of the motif. It's like describing the montage that we're watching. And then he lifts some weights.
Like that. Is that American? What montage isn't that Team America? Don't they do a montage like that? Or there's some spoof movie
Yeah.
where they're like,
But no, it's true though.
it's
really
almost
is.
exactly like that. Yeah.
So let's start. We get the bunch of B shots. We get trucks, so we know we're gonna have a truck movie right from the get go. We get a sweaty Stallone who is like bathing out of some sort of barrel on the side of the road. I think I'm not sure. An old bathing barrel. Adam, are you familiar?
I wonder if that was in contract or if that was just like a Stallone choice. Like, do you think it was like he just knew? Oh, 10 minutes into the movie, better take off my shirt. Or do you think they wrote in like 15 minutes into the movie, your shirt has to come off at least once? Like,
Yeah,
one of those things happened.
This could be
that scene is useless.
Yeah, it could be a storyboard thing. I think a lot of times these projects are visualized and thrown up on a thing, and they go, "All right, I want to see a shot of this. I want to see a shot of that. How can we get from here to here?" I really do. I really genuinely believe that. So we get him in a barrel, and while this is happening, we're also getting a lot of shots of American flags, and there seems to be some sort of graduation ceremony happening, some sort of military graduation ceremony.
It appears that this man is cleaning a vehicle as in depth as I've ever seen for some sort of occasion.
The scrubbing,
he goes as far as,
I forgot about that.
Almost toothbrush to the wheels in depth. But he's getting ready for some sort. It doesn't say. It never explicitly tells the branch, but there's a military graduation ceremony.
Some sort of military academy is having a graduation ceremony. And now I love this. This is one of my favorites. He rolls down a fully packed street full of parking, and he just parallel parks an 18-wheeler on the street beautifully. And he gets out, and what is he wearing? What is he wearing, Adam? Full denim outfit.
I was gonna say my gut's gonna go with denim on this, but I'm not sure. Is that
denim shirt, denim tie, denim pants, denim Dan out?
But because it's Stallone, it's a black denim. It's classic.
Yeah, sure. We'll give him a pass. He robbed the Levins in their jeans section and made an entire outfit, but we'll give him. Levins doesn't even sell jeans. I don't even know what I'm talking about, Adam. This is the byproduct of watching a film like this. My brain don't work no more.
Wait, you said Levins?
Yeah, right. Levins. Is that a furniture store? They sell like coffee tables and. I don't know, man.
He's special.
Levi's, bro. I'm back,
His
baby.
house has a denim
back.
sofa. Has
All right.
denim chairs.
Before I fall deeper into this rabbit hole of me being an idiot, we get to this graduation ceremony, and the group of kids in this class look to, I don't know, maybe 12, 10 to 12. How old would you say they are?
I think he mentions it at some point. Aren't they he's 14 or 15? He's not old enough to drive. I think he's 14.
It's so hard to tell because the kid that's casted for this role is so cherub-like. Like, he's so childlike and so innocent and so, he's just this adorable little boy. It's really, he could be 6 or he could be 50. I don't know how old this kid is.
I mean, he's just very whiny. I think that also makes him seem super young.
Oh, man, we'll get there.
He just whines the whole time.
We'll definitely get there, because this kid, as we see him now, it kind of comes off like this is a really studious, no-nonsense kind of kid. He's in a military academy, He's doing the march.
So, the first introduction to him is the ceremony. It ends, and I think maybe 30 seconds passes before this kid is impatiently looking around to find somebody, and that immediately bothered me because he didn't give anybody enough time to get to his location, because even if they were there, it would be longer than the 5 seconds that he gives them. I think that might have been a conscious choice.
You get a close-up of him oh, nobody's here for me.
Meanwhile, the field is still packed full of all the other kids that just graduated. They haven't left. He seems very impatient. But yes, he's looking around for somebody to pick him up, and who tells him?
He finds he has a butler. He has his own Alfred Pennyworth, who's here in a limo to pick him up and to take. So immediately this kid goes from aw, no family, to he's a rich scumbag kid. Who cares anyways? Who cares? While he's doing that, someone walks out the front door and shouts his name. It's the most inefficient way to get things done is in this military academy. So they call him back into the school, where he walks in and he sees the head of the school and none other than Denim Dan standing in the corner looking like a lost puppy.
Did you catch the guy beforehand as he rounds that corner? The guy in the first office is just kicking it with his feet up, reading the paper.
Apparently, in that military academy, they're pretty laxed. They don't care too much about what's going on.
Don't really care. Yeah. He asks as if he's lost. You know, it was just the other. Anyways, so yeah, we're
Well,
introduced. Go ahead.
no.
Oh,
We're introduced to the idea of him being this kid's father, right?
yes, yes,
And
yes, yes.
and we've talked about this briefly before, but I really love how they do this. The kid asks him for ID, like he's 50 years. He's like a 50-year-old store clerk. He's like, "Could you show me your ID, please?" And Stallone's like, "Oh yeah, no, of course, totally understand." And pulls out a giant, pulls out this giant
It's
wedding
like a
picture.
10 by 12.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that clearly was just taken that day on set. It doesn't- they just took the picture 11 minutes ago, and it's a wedding picture. And it's a wedding picture of him and this kid's mom. And that's all
No,
that's
man, that's.
needed for the kid to be like, all right, you're my dad.
But I love the idea that he just shows up, right, and the kid has no idea and just doesn't believe because that's right. We're led to assume that he just abandoned him. But there's no further questions from any authority figures there. Like
No.
nobody's like, "Why do you have that? Why do you have a license? Are you okay to
Aren't you
take
a
this kid?"
professional driver?
Like if you he's been with us for some time. We know some of the history, and then you haven't talked to him in year or so that you've been in this. He's been in this school. Like none of that crosses anybody's mind. They're like,
No,
oh,
hey, there's a
so
strange man in here claiming to be your father. Go in his car.
he paid at least $100 for those wedding photos. He has to be yours. Look at that. Like,
Well, the answer we're given is that the mom, this is her wish. His mother has asked for his father to pick him up, and they're gonna reconnect on the way to see the mother who is in the hospital. She's sick with I don't remember. It's a heart. She has a heart disease
heart
or
failure.
something.
Yeah.
A very vague. Your mom is sick with, and then we just hurry up and brush past it real fast.
I mean, that's a common theme. I mean, a lot of this movie is going to be us talking about a 1987 movie in a 2023
That's true.
lens, right?
That's
Like a
very
lot of
true.
it's not going to fit. But the biggest gripe I have is the vagueness. Like even they press him later on for why did he abandon him, and there's never a clear cut answer. Now you derive the answer, but like they're never like he's just like. "Oh, I married a
Also,
mistake."
there's
Yes.
even the explanation for how he gets out of jail is hilarious. We'll get there. This whole movie's
Yeah.
ridiculous. It is literally over the top. But so in this scene, we're introduced to the basically what the beginning of this story is going to be. And right out of the way, I hate this kid. I hate him, Adam.
He does suck.
He
does
just
suck.
got terrible energy, and if he was my kid, I would have left him on the side of the road. He stinks. He
He
stinks.
winds the whole way out of the
Oh
Andrew,
man.
the Andrew Carnegie building. Did you catch the awesome plaque?
Yeah, dude, repping the Berg 4-2. Let's get it. Whoop whoop.
Yeah, he's So he gets in this truck and
Which, by the way, I would like to say I have it in my notes. The pork chop express is definitely better, and I stand by that now. His truck is gross. It looks disgusting. It's not all this meticulous washing and scrubbing, and I wouldn't want to touch it. It looks dirty. It looks like it smells bad. It looks like it smells like him.
he's got a gym in there, man. I mean, he has a tricep pull down machine in the center console.
Anybody who's ever had a professional job involving like driving equipment, thinking about like a machine in the truck with you it's in the cab of the truck with him. It's not even in a different. If anything happens and he has to stomp on the brakes, he's going to kill 4 families in front of him with a weight machine.
Just flying out. Also, like, imagine the fuel economy plummeting because, I don't know, that's an extra 300 pounds, however high that machine is.
He just keeps going over at all the weight stations, and they're like, why are you so heavy? He's like,
Yeah.
I keep my bench with me. So, I got all this cool equipment. I don't got a bed, but I got all my workout equipment behind me.
Yeah, he didn't spring for a big cab. He has just a single cab, not even, no bed in the back. He's got tricep machine. And then just the stop and go or bumps on the highway, you're just going to hear the rattling of metal,
Dude,
even
it's
like the whole time, the whole
ludicrous.
time, right in your ear. That would be so awful. Oh my god.
So, not only are we introduced to Stallone being the most ridiculous truck driver of all time with his workout equipment, but this kid, I even have it in my notes. This kid is just him and Stallone are not vibing. See, Stallone's trying, and this kid is shutting it down.
My two notes up until this point are 10 minutes into the movie, I hate the kid already, and Robert Loggia's tan
Robert
is
Loggia, I love Robert Loggia. He's the best.
do
So,
we meet so that's I think the next bit. So he gets in the truck and they leave, and then I think we're introduced to Robert Loggia right after that because he comes to get him himself, I think, from the military academy,
yeah,
correct?
so
And
Robert
that's when we
Loggia
learn.
is introduced as the grandfather of this kid who
Yeah,
doesn't want him to have a relationship with Stallone, and he's kind of annoyed with his dying daughter for pulling a fast one on him.
right. And that's the first time we learn of the mom's wish and that sort of thing. So, and then it seems up until that point that the grandpa's upset, but is going to use what seems like legal means. I mean, we have
Yeah, he
Noah's
doesn't come
stuff
off
going
as
on.
the villain of this film just yet, even though
No,
it comes in heavy. It comes in heavy soon, but right now he just seems kind of like a concerned old guy about his grandson, and I kind of understand, right? And he
yeah,
should
yeah.
be concerned because simultaneously, while this is happening, his grandson decides to bolt out of this.
Mm,
Yeah, right.
yes,
Work us through
yes.
this
Well,
because
doesn't
I'm trying to understand this, Adam.
is this what? So he gets in the car, he gets in the truck. They're driving down the road for 5 minutes or whatever, and then isn't that when he notices the pictures of himself and all the letters and stuff taped in
Yes,
the cab?
yes, yes,
And
yes, yes,
then
yes.
we learn that although Hawk claims he wrote to him, the kid never received any letters.
Yes, that's
So
another. Here we go with the subplot. One that this whole time Stallone's tried to have a relationship with his son, and it's unbeknownst to the kid. This has been shut down by an outside force. Clearly, Robert Loggia, like as if we're not already suspecting that's the deal. But and instead of this kid being cool and receptive, like a cool kid, and trying to understand, this kid goes
like,
into this
maybe
weird.
he did try. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but he goes into this weird, this like schizo freak out where he decides to jump out of the truck
Well,
and
no, he asks him very nicely to pull over. So
yeah,
I
yeah,
think
okay,
the problem with this kid is well, most of this movie with this kid involves him running away in some form, but his choices never make sense. So he's in the situation, just learned that his dad has been writing to him, never got any letters. He all of a sudden wants to leave. Fine, so he asks Hawk to pull over because he says he has a stomach ache or he's not feeling well, something. Hawk pulls over.
Can you pull over, please, sir?
Yes.
Sir, please.
Now, obviously, we all probably knew this is a guy's, but instead of running like with traffic on the side
Or
of the road,
off of the highway, away from the
right? No,
highway.
he crosses all four lanes of the oncoming traffic to get to the center median in an attempt to cross four more lanes to get to the other side of the highway. Like out of nowhere, like the door opens and he's
sending
gone.
people just hurling out of control, and Stallone thinks the best way to handle this is to just do it again, to run a chase after this kid, and now they're both running across God knows how many lanes of traffic, and probably killing. It starts a death count in this movie because there's no way that people don't die in this movie. But we'll get to the car chase later. This probably starts the unofficial death count in this film because it's crazy. And the music in this part is crazy too.
It's
Every
pretty
time
intense,
something
yeah.
dramatic happens, there's this crazy music cues, and this is the beginning of all that, and it's insane. It's the most ridiculous. Why? Because you're my dad, but you're not my dad, but you are. Let's murder everybody because I'm a crabby kid.
Yeah, so Stallone catches him like dead center of the median and just shouts, "I hate you!" And I think Stallone wrote this line because
Yes, yeah. This is another. I'm gonna wing it here, guys.
this is a very. I can see him thinking it's inspirational. I'm just gonna leave that out. This kid says, "I hate you," and Stallone's response is, "Then hate me. You gotta start somewhere."
Yeah, you got to start somewhere. Yeah. Oh my God, that's what I'm saying. This is exactly what I was talking about. When you could just swap dialogue from this and Rocky, and it's the same. It's the same. Just he's like a computer that just operates on this one level and just spits out facts.
Stallone's actually like chatbot. Or chat or whatever.
He's a sweet action film android. So
Oh, that would be amazing.
ultimately, this leads us to the first truck stop that we're going to stop at on this little road trip, which I think is from Colorado to California. I don't remember if it's explicitly stated, but I'm fairly certain we're starting kind of in the middle of the country, trying to get across the other side of the country.
Yeah, but we're trying to get to Vegas as the end goal for the championship. But I don't remember. Where
I think the mom's in California.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, I don't think she's in Vegas. I think she's in California. I think the kid, we'll get to this, but I think the kid catches a plane, dude. This is crazy.
Because they get to the hospital on the way.
Yeah, I have no idea. Maybe I'm mistaken, and that's very well could be. But I was under the impression that they're going from Colorado to California. They could just be going from Colorado to Nevada, and I may be totally wrong. But
well, Vegas. I mean, depending where in California, it's not that far to Vegas, so it's also that's possible.
I know that we're just setting up the idea that this kid is going to be locked in a truck with Stallone for several days, and it is not going to be the best time ever, probably.
Well, yeah, because that's prefaced in the beginning, right? So it's a 4-day ride or something like that.
Yeah,
that's what they plan.
3 or 4 days.
Time to carry a load with him because it's just what I want to do is.
Yeah, not that he needs to work. He's just trying to work, and he happens to have his kid with him. But now this is like, we're going to catch up on however many years it's been that I haven't been a part of your life. Which is good on him. Good dad move. If you haven't, words to all the dads out there, if you are an absent father, probably don't be, or your kid's going to do what this kid does and be terrible. So don't do that. That's my PSA. Okay. That's going to be the commercial for this.
Take your kid now on long trucking expeditions.
A better father would lock your kid in the truck and have weird romantic dialogue with them instead. That's a sign of a good father.
We are jumping all through this movie.
Yeah, dude, I'm sorry. It's crazy. This is a crazy movie, people. This is why we started here, because it really is a journey.
It has no idea. Yeah, it makes no sense. So they get to the first truck stop. And Hawk asks Mike, how you like the place, Mike? And Mike's response, because he's an awesome kid, is, "I never did quite like the zoo, sir."
Boo. I'd love to be in the background of this movie and just boo this kid every time he has something like snarky to say. Boo.
He has that face, too, that just really makes you...
Dude, so punchable. He has such a punchable little face. You're right. And I love also, the dude's name is Lincoln Hawk. And not only do people keep calling him Hawks, but I love he walks in the truck stop and the lady behind the counter calls him Link, and I cracked up at that. I love the idea of him like dressed like an elf fighting. But I love Link. So here's another this guy, Stallone goes to order something like a man, and the kid makes some sort of remark about the food that they're about to eat. Like a man. Give me a steak or a cheeseburger, and this kid's like, ew. I don't know the line explicitly. Maybe you do.
I don't remember because he was gonna order. The whole point of stopping this truck stop is they have really good
for a steaks.
Yes. Yeah, and then Mike lays into him about the nutritional value of a steak and how it's full of saturated fat. So they get to the truck stop.
Somebody punch this kid, dude.
They get to the truck stop. Lincoln tries to order Mike the chicken, who Mike then recites the bad ingredients in chicken, whatever he was going to get him, like a chicken sandwich or something.
Yeah, dude.
So the kid changes his order to like, what was it?
Tuna salad with a lemon water, yes. I believe.
Yes. And Lincoln, being the good guy he is, says, "Make that a double."
He
You
wants
know,
to. I'm not gonna say he's grooming his own son, but he straight up is just like, yeah, whatever this kid wants, that's what we're gonna do. Even though I came here explicitly for a steak, like
it's true.
we're
Yeah, the
gonna
whole
set
reason
this
we're
kid up.
stopping here. Also the drive from where he picked him up to the restaurant didn't seem that long, but already Hawk's out of his fancy dress denim and into a more casual denim and has a hat
Yeah,
on
you
at
know,
this point.
sometimes you gotta change in a truck in front of your child while driving.
And is he still wearing the jacket at this point? So
You know what?
in the
I'm so blown away by this diner and how it's like for some reason it's this rowdy Western bar, even though it's supposed to be some sort of truck stop diner, but for some reason there's 511 people there, and it makes
so
no
many
sense to
people.
me.
Now I don't know if the movie was. Uh, I don't know if the movie was unifying two very different parties, that being arm wrestlers and truck drivers, or if there was already a very big connection underground between the two,
I'm
because
not
all throughout this.
sure, but this scene leads me to believe that there is a connection between the two of them because there's this whole network of apparently they're both drivers and arm wrestlers. Well, you know what? No, it is the case because at the competition they had the truckers division. They refer to
Oh,
them
is it?
as the truckers division. So this
Okay.
must be a thing that's popular or not or made up
Or
completely or I
it
don't
could be made
know.
up completely. Or
Neither
maybe
of
it
us are
was like
truckers
a
or professional arm wrestlers.
or yeah. I mean, it could have been like a very small subculture back in the 80s. I don't know, because there's truck driving stuff in this whole diner, but again, they probably did that. But
Yeah, I
like
have no idea. But so then we're introduced to the first mini boss of this movie, the Smasher, one of my favorite
mini
characters.
boss.
This guy who looks like Diamond Dallas Page rolls up to Link while he's eating and challenges him to an arm wrestling competition in front of his son. And despite, trying to not do it, he's trying to be a nice guy in front of his kid. He ultimately accepts the challenge and it's one of the coolest scenes ever. It turns into this shot of him walking like first off he abandoned his son. He's like, you
There's
stay
so much
here,
about this.
I gotta
This
go
is this.
do some arm wrestling stuff, so I'll see you later, kid.
Well, this whole setup is ridiculous. Like this is the first introduction to the other half of. There's three parts to this movie. It's the father son relationship, which gets kind of buried a lot. Well, not really. Father son relationship, truck driving, and arm wrestling. Three things they're going to tackle in this movie. Uh, and the first like foyer into this arm wrestling is just this dude yelling at Lincoln, and he's just like, "Heard you're going to be the champ in Vegas." Lincoln's like, "Don't believe everything you hear." And
Yeah, he's trying to be real
immediately
modest and cool, trying to play it off. But the best part is the opposite of Stallone is this guy who's with the Smasher who keeps shouting little quips in between their dialogue. He's like, I heard you're going to the competition. This guy's like, yeah, kill him, Smasher, kill him. I love that guy. That guy's the best.
And Smasher's big comeback when Lincoln's like, "Don't believe everything you hear." He's like, I don't believe anything." Like
He just goes insane. I'm crazy person, dude. Are you kidding me?
I don't know what's real. I have no idea. Ah.
I'm schizophrenic. I hang out at truck stops and arm wrestle people, dude. What do you think's going on right now? My name is
Don't
the
believe
Smasher.
anything. So he sits there, and then he gets baited. So Stallone randomly just sets down the stress ball that he has had this whole time. I guess I don't know. He just
I'm not gonna try to.
the shot widens slightly to show that he's been squeezing a stress ball. Mike starts to ask him where he's going as he's undressing, and he just takes off his shirt. "We gotta go to work," and then he does the backwards hat as he's walking back there.
Which
and,
I don't know if this started that trend, but this was a big part of it. This guy had every kid spinning their hat back around thing. I think they had action figures that spun the hat around too. I'm not even kidding.
I mean, it was just a big thing in that era in general. Like snapbacks were huge, or before.
Yeah, but I'm
everywhere, so-
talking about like the Ash Ketchum like battle mode engaged. Like I'm a badass now.
I mean, this could be, but I mean, there was a lot of. I mean, there were turtle characters that back in the day that
Sure,
had
sure.
always had
You're
a hat
probably
on
right. You're
backwards.
probably right. I'm so enamored with the way Stallone does it that I immediately want to give it to him.
I'm also enamored by the size of his head. I mean, like that is a standard
Is it the
snapback,
size
and
of
it
his
is
head or
hanging
the
on.
size of his hat? Is he wearing a child's hat this whole time, Adam?
No, man, there's no way. I mean, that thing's on the last button. I mean, you would tell if it was a child's hat because, like,
But
the
doesn't
top would be
his
a little
kid wear
lower.
the hat too?
Not well.
I'm just saying, who knows at this
I mean,
point?
it's adjustable. Maybe he adjusted it. I mean, I just know the first time he's he's queued up for the arm wrestle. That the button's the last one. Like that's assuming
It is just
assuming
fighting
sizes
to
haven't
stay
changed.
on.
Like it's V'd like this in the center. Like look at how much like dude's head has to be huge. It is like it's like the brain folds in the dude that plays what's his name in Guardians. Like that distracts me more than anything. Batista. Batista's brain folds and Stallone's head being so big are two distracting factors for me in movies.
That
Uh,
image is gonna be burned into my brain, dude. That's so funny.
it's just
Ah.
it's a huge head, massive head. So, anyways,
Yeah, so we get into the first arm wrestling contest. Of course, he wins because if he lost, that would start a really bad.
this is
Immediately, we'd be disappointed.
also when we notice that everyone's very sweaty, either in that
Oh
establishment, in
yeah,
the movie
dude!
in
It must
general,
be
in the
500
'80s.
degrees in that building, bro, because it's so,
Jesus, I
so
mean,
sweaty.
the match doesn't. Maybe it is all real sweat because as Stallone's walking through the crowd of people to the table that's set in the back, um, he makes the weird, like you smelled a fart face. That could
Yeah,
just be
dude, he
VO.
does.
Like
He
maybe
does make a weird face in this scene. Well, so he leaves to go arm wrestle this guy, and they actually say over the top. This is one of these movies where they're gonna say the title of this film repeatedly in this movie, and we're all supposed to be like,
I mean, we're going to be watching a lot of movies like that.
yeah, I'm so excited. This is such a great. I'm so glad we're doing this. But
Uh,
as this is happening, his son is approached by the secondary main villain in this film.
yeah.
What is this?
Zumwalt, right?
What is this villain's name?
I have a shirt with it on, and
Bull. It's his
Bull
name
Hurley.
is yes,
Bull
Bull.
Hurley. Yep. Yep.
And this Bull basically bullies a child about his father and just kind of, gets all tough guy on this little kid, which is kind of strange. But guys from that era, he's probably on a bunch of drugs. I'm not surprised.
Could explain all the
The sweating. So the bad guy basically is really uncomfortably making these passive threats to the kid. Stallone does the over-the-top move. They say it. He wins. And Bull's also looking like another professional wrestler, Johnny K9. I don't know if you're familiar, but I
He
kept
reminded
getting...
me of Bam Bam Bigelow. A little
Yes,
bit, too.
yes. A lot of this movie has professional wrestling vibes all over it.
Or the tarantula, like that size, large man. Yes.
So, this leads to what, Adam? Where are we at here? We are at
We got the arm wrestling bars. We got the sweaty men. We get the first shot of the totally illegal grip because I don't. The cheat code in this game that Stallone has to win every arm wrestling match, where he just leaves his thumb dangle and then is totally able to just re-grip. I don't know if that's legal.
You
in
know
arm
what?
wrestling
It literally
competition.
doesn't make any sense to me, considering he might be one of the smallest guys in this film too. It's crazy. Stallone,
Yeah,
he looks. They do a really good job in a lot of his movies of making him look bigger than life, but so much of this movie is just these giant grizzly bear dudes that are just way bigger than him, and somehow he's able to stop what he's doing, whip his hand over, and beat them. I don't know.
but he never does that. Like, if I'm Stallone, one, why not just do that from the beginning? Just grip that way from the beginning. But two, he waits till about. See, This is the level playing field. All right, I'm starting to lose the arm wrestling match once I'm going past 50%, right? But I could still win it. 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 I could still. Oh, I'm going to lose. I should probably regrip now. Okay,
And now I'm back,
now.
baby. And
But my other favorite thing, yeah, is
the
okay, he's almost there. Let's give him about 50% again, then slam it.
yeah, it's the give him a little bit and bam. That's classic, dude. That's great.
I mean,
That's great filming right there.
gotta break the wrist. If you're gonna do it right. You know?
So he wins the first match. We go back to them in the truck, and we're having another. This is version 2 of the kid being an annoying little kid, and Stallone and him are having, which is a really funny fourth wall breaking scene with the radio, where the music that they're playing in the scene immediately gets shut off by the little kid, and they start going back and forth, turning on the music, shutting it off, and even at this point, Stallone looks like he's like, wow, this kid is terrible, right? Also, the additional more terrible music in this movie, which is great. If you really love like that 80s yacht rock, then you're gonna love the music in this film. If you don't, buckle up, Buckaroo, because oh man, is it chock full of it.
It is bad, man. It is bad. Did we talk? We talk about your boy's psych up routine though before they started that last match, as he gives himself just CTE from getting slapped in the face.
Oh yeah,
As he's
dude.
walking, that's like probably the second or like top 5 best shots in that film is the long shot of Stallone after making the poop face walking down this crowd full of dudes just getting smashed.
And I think he's getting smacked by the dude with the quips.
By the little guy.
Yeah, the little quippy guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such. This is such a great movie. It really is.
It's timeless. It really is.
So now we're introduced to Terry Funk, which is, it's not his character's name, but it is the wrestler Terry Funk, and he's one of Robert Loggia's henchmen. I love seeing this guy.
Great. Are we there already?
Yeah, so maybe not. My notes are a little goofy here. I know they're in the truck with the knob, and then I have Terry Funk ? But now what I have next is we got the creepy first night in the truck. Use my shoulder.
That's what I wanted to get to.
Yeah,
that's what I wanted to get to.
This is such a oh man, dude, this is a weird scene, buddy. I don't know how we're gonna get into this.
We're going to be saying. I think we're going to be saying this a lot. You can see what they wanted to do, but the way they executed it is just like. So poorly done.
This is one of the first examples where you really could replace the child with a love interest.
Oh my god, yeah.
And the dialogue would flow exactly the same, and it's just real.
It would probably work better, actually.
Oh man, is it so creepy.
I mean, he pulls off, they're on a 2-lane highway, and he pulls right off on this dirt path.
This feels dirty as you say this.
I'm going to try to
It's the truth, though. This is real life, folks. Watch the movie.
This is what happens. So, again, this is after another soft rock scene fighting over the radio, but he pulls off and says that they think that we should get some sleep for the night. And the kid looks around and says, "I don't see a hotel," which I thought was a cool distinction because he's rich. He's not going to say motel. He's going to say hotel, right? So then Stallone he's I think he's playing with his hat or something. He's just like, well, I thought we could.
I was wondering if you'd kiss me. If you could just climb over across the seat and just start kissing me on the mouth.
I just thought we should stay in the truck, and the kid's just like so weirded out. And of course, this is the truck. You have to sleep like this, and
and Stallone's like, you can come over and sleep on me. Yeah, it won't be weird or nothing. Shoulder. Yeah, use my shoulder. And ultimately, excuse me, we get to the first night, hopefully without any nefarious things happening. Hopefully. And the joke is when we get to the next shot, it's Stallone waking up on his kid's shoulder. How adorable.
I think you replace any other actor, might have worked a little better, but I think Stallone doesn't. There's not many Stallone kid films.
I don't know if you put anybody in that scene, and it makes me feel real good about it, honestly.
I think it could have been without the sheepish look. Like, you could put Arnold in there. I think Arnold could have handled it a little less sexy than Stallone did.
Yeah, Stallone made it. So that's a good point. Stallone made a lot of this sexy, and that is a confusing directional choice here.
Because, I mean, really, other than, well, I guess there's that one where he's the superhero in the garbage dump, but like, there's not a lot of sidekicks, kids for Stallone, right? It's usually like a unwilling female or just him by himself. Whereas,
I'm so glad we're doing this. Well, then it brings us to this great montage of them just working out their one arm. They're doing exercises around the truck involving
doing the curls on the top of the truck. Does he tell him, is this when he's trying to, he's showing him the worst possible form for tricep extensions as they're in the truck. He's like, the kid's doing this, no, you lean your body into it, which isn't going to build, it's just going to,
none of this, we should say, none of the information given in this movie is probably good real life information that should be used ever for anything ever.
Yeah.
If I'm a lawyer, don't ever do anything that they do in Over the Top, and your life should be okay. The dude drinks motor oil. He says it's gasoline, and it's a can of oil. We're not there yet. I'm sorry, but I'm just saying this movie's absurd, Adam. It's absurd.
You're right. You're right. That is right there because they're doing the workout. They're doing the truck curls and they're doing the tricep extensions to just move momentum and not work on the isolated muscle at all. And then
makes him a vest. Rips off his shirt that was damaged in the chase at the beginning that we missed. That we didn't talk about. When he's chasing him across the highway, he tears his coat. And now let's just tear off the other arm and make you look like a badass kid. Why not?
It works. And then for some reason the kid gets snooty again though.
Yes.
They're like driving down the road and the kid starts I think it's after the pulls or whatever that the kid says there's more to life than muscle and goes on to explain that the average adult...
He uses a line, he says, "You don't read much," and that made me belly laugh. I love the idea of someone telling Stallone that he looks like he doesn't read much, and I got a huge kick out of that. But then he turns around and Stallone starts defending himself, essentially, saying that, you think you're so smart, you should try to, walk a mile in other people's shoes. And this kid has this funny reaction where he sits back in his chair and goes, "Are you going to get violent?" And it's just like, what did you do to that child overnight, Stallone? What is going on here? Why is he so afraid?
PTSD there for sure. Yeah, something.
No, please go. It's such a weird reaction to have. Like, "Oh, you're gonna get violent." Like, oh man, why do you feel so scared of this? I mean, I know that you don't really know him, and he picked you up in a creepy, dirty truck and is taking you across the country.
And made you sleep in a completely upright position overnight, and
while holding him,
you don't like, and
they fell asleep looking each other in the eyes. Yeah, I hate it. I just hate it so much, dude. It's so uncomfortable.
And then, Stallone's way to solve this and get some, father-son bonding, is to give the son the opportunity to. At first, when he proposed this, I thought he was going to have the kid sit on his lap, but no, kid gets his own seat. He lets the kid.
Thank God.
Drive his only sole source of income with a who knows how many ton load in the back.
Yeah, with a full load of something in the back. Yeah. He lets a child drive his truck. That's how we're gonna get through this together. And somehow this kid figures out, how to shift in 30 seconds with a very quick screaming lesson. I mean, any dad could understand that, screaming at your kid and your kid's like, "I'm trying, man."
Remember a lot of the most I remember from this shot is just the sound effect of the clutch,
like just grinding,
but nowhere near as much screaming as if that was real life. Like Stallone wasn't actually yelling.
Yes,
he was just
to be fair, yes, Stallone was just kind of being snooty.
Yeah, whereas I don't know that would have gone so well in real life.
No, my dad would have handled that slightly differently, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But essentially, it cuts this. He's like, again, we're swinging all over the road. This is so dangerous. Like, just the amount of child endangerment in this film already, and we're not even in the crazy stuff yet, is insane.
And then I think it goes to your guy, right? Or did we already?
Well, so
Because
this is going to lead us back to Robert
the grandpa
Lozier.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Robert Lozier trying to plot, how are we going to change this? How are we going to get this kid back? I don't like him being with his dad.
Is this when the lawyer's talking to him,
Yeah,
right?
and he's
Like,
and he
we
what
have
can we do? Bend the rules or whatever.
yeah, yeah, and there's just those two goons
Yeah, Terry Funk
sitting
being
there.
one of them, still not talking. I'm still waiting for him to say
Right.
something. Still not talking. And then now we're back in another truck stop where
What do you think those goons like? What position do you think they applied for? You know, like what they were on the application.
I,
Silent goon. Like, what does it say on their pay stub? The two goons that just stand. If you're a rich
having
man,
worked
like,
for rich, shady people, I really think it starts out with, like, are you big enough to protect me? And, like, I trust you enough to get the job done, so, like, just hang around me. It starts slow and greasy, like
so
it's
it's not. There's not like open interviews for henchmen. You just have to kind of like
maybe
work your
maybe on
way
the
up.
dark web. We should look into that
Hmm.
sometime.
Just be hench. I would fail because I just don't
Yeah,
know how to not
let's
talk.
change our resumes to say we're henchmen and see where that gets us. So,
That'll be our
we're
two
back.
henchmen discussing movies. Um,
Yeah, that's a great idea, actually. So now we're back at another truck stop where now he's gonna get his kid to arm wrestle one of the funniest kid bullies I've ever seen in my life.
yes, yes. The kid is. I mean, standard late '80s, early '90s like kid. I mean, like
Character
he's got
bad
the
kid, yes, for sure. He kind of
he's
looks like
got the.
Bill Pullman from Terminator, like a mini
I
version of Bill Pullman.
I thought I immediately thought of Sam Rockwell, first Ninja Turtles movie.
There
How
you
he's
go.
like the
Yeah.
greasy and he's getting cigarettes, like that kind of kid. He's got like the
Did
weird
I
kind
say
of
Bill?
half mullet.
I meant Bill Paxton. I think I
I get
apologize. I
those two
believe Bill.
confused all the time.
Yeah, dude, it happens, bro. But they're gonna arm wrestle. He's gonna get his child to arm wrestle a bully on an arcade machine, which is kind of cool.
It is kind of cool. There's a couple of issues with. Actually, it's a pinball. So a lot of issues with
I
this
knew
scene.
we were
All
gonna
right,
talk
this is
about
the
this.
one. The kid's wearing again denim, jean jacket,
Of
no
course.
sleeves, no shirt underneath,
Mhm.
nothing. He's wearing lace fingerless gloves.
Yep.
Not lace, but they're like the black. What was it? It's kind of see-through gloves, no
Yeah.
fingertip. I
If you
don't know
wore
what.
them now, people would question what your preferences were. That's how I felt. But that's something that we don't have to talk too much about. But so yeah,
And then
just the logistics of this doesn't make sense. How have you? I mean, what pinball machine have you played on that's flat?
or it has glass that could withstand force enough to be slammed on.
Yeah,
'Cause
well, force enough for two children, maybe. I don't know. Stallone would have smashed through that, but his weak little child might not.
I guess, but like, yeah, it's still like a 33-degree angle on that thing. It's not
Yeah, it doesn't make
not
any sense.
flat by any means.
And if I
Doesn't
remember
seem
correctly,
safe.
he's on the side of the machine that would benefit him the least.
Yeah, he's down low. Yeah,
Maybe it would
he's on
help.
the
I
low
don't
side.
know. Maybe it would be some sort of. Maybe it's easier to win, easier to lose. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know
Maybe
how
it's
that
better.
helps.
No idea. No idea. And
We get over the top again, where he does
does the kid do?
Yes.
Does the kid do it?
yes, it
He
goes
does?
over his
Okay.
because Stallone. They say it again, and everyone marks out
Okay.
for it. Now you know what? The kid loses, right?
Yeah, because he does best 2 out of 3.
Yeah,
Although we only see.
Two.
No, we do only see 2, don't we?
So the kid loses, and I have in my notes he looks like he's gonna cry again. Oh my god, he is crying again. LOL. I just
Yeah.
he's such a whiny kid. And now
I think
Stallone gives him his pep talk about how what is it? The world's not going to meet you halfway. Am I on the? Am I here? Or if you want it, you got to take it.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So they go back in, and now this time the kid spins the hat around because he means business. And his son now wins the arm wrestling match, and we all understand each other, and it's a beautiful moment between Luke and Lincoln and his son. Excuse me.
And then they immediately rush to call the mom.
Yes. Yes. They're in a phone booth calling the mom to brag about the kid winning some sort of confrontation. The one confrontation he came out of positively.
And Stallone's there hyping him up. No, Saber's taller. He's 7 feet.
He's bigger.
He's doing it.
And the mom, by the way, is so creepy, right? The mom is literally like Silent Hill creepy, like in a bed, like, hey, good.
She reminds me of the chick from Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah, super.
This very vacant, kind of just
heebie-jeebies, bro.
But she looks like she's dying.
Yes,
they
must have cast it well.
She's whether it's real sweat or not, this doesn't seem like it's fun. There's a lot of sweat in this movie, but they at least are able to differentiate if it's good sweat versus bad sweat. And this seems like it's very bad sweat.
Yes, this definitely seems like death sweat. She got the death sweat. So, I love this, and back with the music cues, we get this epic piano music playing while they're on the phone with the mom, and the son makes a comment to Lincoln, she sounds so weak. She sounds so weak, Dad. And it's really this really sad, touching moment, and as this is happening, in the background, you see the kid, like, in the parking lot, and the group of
He's just there. He's just, like...
Dude, it's amazing. It's like epic piano music, and it's supposed to be this touching moment. And in the corner of the shot, you just see this kid get abducted in the middle of the day in the middle of a parking lot.
They don't put a cover over him or anything.
No,
they just snatch him and they're just like walking with him.
So they sling him and just dip. They're like, ah. Stallone freaks out and now has to fight off guys who are trying to fight Stallone from getting
another set of guys.
Yes, there's several sets of guys involved in this abduction scene.
Now we're starting to piece things together that if the grandpa is wanting the lawyer to do some illegal things, these just might be his henchmen. We're starting to connect some dots.
Yes, I'm starting to think Robert Loggia might have henchmen in his Rolodex.
Yes, because he can afford 2 sets, you know?
Yeah, well, 3 sets including his own personal set.
Well, his own, yeah.
So we're up to 3 sets of henchmen now, all working to apparently kidnap a child, trying to keep him from reuniting with his father. It's logical. It's fine. Don't think about it too much.
No, it's kids don't resent you for doing things against their will or anything. So
yeah. But you know what? This is the first of many felonies that are going to be committed in this film. So the kid gets kidnapped. We get this epic fight scene, and then it leads into a crazy car chase between the kidnapping vehicle and his truck.
Right. I mean, you're left with 1 of 2 options if you're Stallone at this point. You either call the cops responsibly, wait till they arrive, give them all the information you can, and give them the lead that it could possibly be tied to the grandfather, or you again hop in your only sole source of income, cross multiple lanes of traffic,
and try to ram your child's vehicle off of the road.
And try to ram the only vehicle your kid's in the back of.
Loose.
Off the road. Yeah.
Loose. Not even. Yeah, he's just loose in this car, and Stallone starts trying to ram it off the road. Genius.
He chose the safest route. I mean, that's the best option.
I would agree. I would do the same
truck. 10 out of 10 times I'm ramming that truck because,
well, he does ram the truck, and it turns out that
he rams the crap out of it.
Everybody's fine, though, because they were built differently back then.
No incidents at all between all the cars that he cuts off when making.
There's no police involvement. No, literally.
Not even a siren.
No, it's just they handle the business themselves. That's the way things used to be, and we need to go back to the way we need to make America great again. Someone needs to
we need to run 18-wheelers rampantly throughout the countryside.
We need to
without
drive
any-
into children with 18-wheelers. So then it cuts. We get back to Robert Loggia having another meltdown, which is funny. Another very funny
Yes.
thing. And then we finally made it to the hospital, right, with Stallone and his son. We're finally there. And this, Adam, I want to talk about this scene because this is a weird one. This is a weird scene.
Well, I mean, we're led up to it with some more awesome, some more awesome soft rock.
Oh, yes, of course. I mean, at this point, it should go without saying that between each and everything we talk about, a soft rock in its entirety is played.
Which again begs my question: if the people that you say were credited, if Sammy Hagar's credited on the soundtrack, where does he play? Because I don't remember it at all.
So I think he's just good for one of the jams. I think Kenny Loggins wrote another jam, and then the rest of it, I don't know who did the music on. I want to say it's Frank Stallone, but I don't know. I don't know for sure, but that always cracked me up. Yeah, so we're finally back at the hospital, or we're finally at the hospital, and Adam, help me understand this. So they walk up to the desk to ask where the mother is, and the nurse tells them, nah.
It's like the common trope in all movies and TV. For some reason, the first person you ask in a hospital can never give you any information. I mean, I guess I see they're highlighting HIPAA laws, but I don't think they're as strict.
Yeah, no, she won't even
This
tell
movie
them what's
makes sense.
going on. She literally
No.
she says, "Wait for a doctor to talk to you," and it's like intense music again.
And the doctor is just like Stallone's asking the nurse who's me, and the doctor is right where that speaker is, like
Yeah.
right there. And
Nurse
just
leaves him hanging.
aimlessly-
Creepy doctor walks in, and this is the creepiest doctor in the world. This guy's super creep status, and he's basically just there's no levity. He doesn't make it. He literally just walks up. He's like, "She's dead of heart stuff."
There's no
bye.
we should talk in another room, maybe a private area of the waiting room.
No,
like we
just
tried everything
this
we could.
creepy
No,
guy who looks like Rick from Rick and Morty walks up behind them, is like, "She's dead," and then leaves, and then it's like, "All right, I got stuff to do."
And I think I have in my notes Q Kid running.
Yes,
and,
here we go, kid
does.
running again irresponsibly away from a situation that doesn't actually require him to run away from it.
And I think this is a big scene for Stallone. It really shows his acting chops because we get to see him fake cry, which he just doesn't
No,
do.
he just can't. No, terrible. And then the kid runs away. This blows my mind. The kid hails a taxi, jumps in it, and dips. And Stallone chased him twice actually so far. But this time he just kind of lets the taxi go.
I think he does say, "Come with me, please."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
oh,
the-
hey. Yeah, the weakest attempt of all the craziness that's happened. Now his son jumps into a taxi and he's like, "Oh, all right, whatever. See you, child. I'm going to let my child drive away with a stranger." That's
And this
not
was
cool.
actually after after the car chase. I think they were starting to bond again because then the kid starts pressing him like, "Why'd you leave me?" And he says, "I made a mistake and I won't leave again." Like that's the big thing. And I think that's very funny because the next scene that happens is Stallone just leaving him again. He doesn't he doesn't chase after him or anything in this scene. He just kind of like,
sometimes you want to be around your kids and sometimes you let a stranger drive away from them and you don't care. And it's funny because I thought he was so passionate about getting his kid back, but apparently not that time.
not right then. Yeah, not at that moment.
All right,
But
so this is where I'm going to need your help here because I'm pretty sure this is where it gets absolutely insane, right? Because now the kid takes the taxi back to the rich grandfather's, right?
Yeah, as far as we know, the kid's gone. We don't know anything. I don't think we see any interaction between the kid and grandfather.
But yeah, but
Whatever.
I'm assuming at this point that's where this kid is going.
Right.
Back to what he
The
knows,
next-
who he knows, which
Right.
is the grandfather.
And I think we only see like a shot or two of Stallone being like introspective, and then it
Oh
cuts
yeah,
to
like
the
sitting
funeral.
against the truck with the sunrise or the sun
Yeah.
setting. Yeah.
Oh
Ugh,
yeah,
my
yeah.
God, the
And
'80s
then
were
it goes
hilarious.
the next time you see uh Hawk and the kid together are at the funeral where he rolls up late like a baller
Yep.
in black denim like a baller, and everybody is doing their worst job whispering, like just like shouting
Oh
at his
yeah,
face,
that's the
and he
That's the garbage
yeah,
husband. Everyone hates
like it's
that guy.
like it's common knowledge, and Stallone just sets the flowers down and dips and just leaves, and then we're left with the kid crying while Robert Loggia very tenderly rubs the child's knee and consoles him. It's again, you see
Ugh.
what they were trying to do, but the execution. I think it's some of the cast choices. I'm starting to believe
It makes me
are
want
making
to
it
call the
creepy.
police.
Yeah, yeah. It seems crap. Seems a little weird. Um,
And then, so this is
that's it.
now where Stallone shows up at the property with his so he shows up at Robert Loggia's rich mansion property, his gated property, in his
Yes,
18 wheeler that he expertly drives down the driveway.
because after the funeral, that was all. Although there was no interaction, I guess that was enough to get him back on the wanting his kid wagon. So he drives up to the gate in his big old truck
Why doesn't he just try to
and
get the kid to come back with him after the funeral?
stand around in public while there's some other people and see that the
Well,
grandfather's not going to make a butt of himself around all the
yeah,
funeral
no.
goers.
So to avoid any embarrassment, now the next plan is to do what he's about to do, which is the most insane reaction. So he
Yes,
pulls up to the property asking to see his son, and the guards are telling him to hit the bricks. You're not welcome here, right?
and then one of the, like you said, a very impressive driving scene. I mean, it's a spiral, it's a real S
This
windy
yeah,
driveway.
beautiful private rich guy driveway that he backs up.
Not even head out the window. I mean,
Nah,
he
just
just backs
takes
up
it up
this
like a
like.
gangster, right? Super.
Mhm.
Just to
I mean,
floor it back down the driveway and drive through the gate, almost killing the two guards at the front.
he drives through the gate. He then has a choice to make whether he keeps hitting stuff or maybe just goes into the house. But no, he says heck with that. He drives through the gate. He drives over top of a giant fountain. He
Yeah,
crashes
destroys like a
both statues,
statue.
two statues, and he smashes into the house. Like not just up in it, like smashes through
Yes.
the doors.
He doesn't
You
pull
have no
up to the
idea.
house. He drives through the house like a gangster. That's
Yeah.
Stallone's the man. That's what I'm talking about. I wish I had that confidence in my day-to-day life, Adam. Don't you? Wish
I mean,
you just drive through the wall and be like, "What are you going to do about it?" Now, this is crazy because we've talked about this before, but this leads to him walking into the house and perfectly running into Robert Loggia and the grandson.
no. He bursts into the house, possibly killing them. First off,
Yeah,
on the other
potentially
side of that
killing
door.
anybody behind that wall.
Because of this movie, I don't stand by my front door. I'm at least 30 feet back
Yeah,
and
that's
look out.
true.
And I don't want to be hit by a stray truck. But he he comes
It's
bursting
literally
into the house.
controlled, though. It's literally not stray at all. It's literally purposely driven into the house.
Yes,
Ridiculous.
yeah. It is a wild
Murderous.
scene. That is the movie could end right there on the scene for me because it's so ludicrous and ridiculous. I love it.
That's when he
'Cause
killed his family and was sentenced to 30 years.
he then gets out of the truck as if a large vehicle crashing through your house wouldn't like alert you to go into the main area of the home. No, he's still yelling Mike for like a good 5 minutes till
Hey, hey, I just drove into the house. Where are you at, child?
and then grandfather's at the top, and this is where he makes his heartfelt plea to again come with me, please. I think he adds please this time,
Yeah.
which I think is
Hey,
enough
child,
to get
you
back
should
to
be
his
next
side.
to
Yeah.
me instead.
And now, I think all the cops that were missing from the chase scene
All the
were
cops that are missing
actually
from the rest of this movie.
were here and just hanging out.
As if Robert Loggia had his own personal police force. There were helicopters at him. They don't show him, but you can hear helicopters. They got helicopters. He gets arrested so fast. The response time is amazing. And they swiftly take Stallone to jail, where he should be because he's a murderous psychopath. He just drove a truck into a house looking for his child. He seems like the worst kind of guy you'd want around your child ever.
He really just the decisions he makes.
God, jail sucks. Oh man, this put me in a weird place. Watch this. God, I don't know if you've ever been at him, but it is lame. It is not a super fun place to be.
It's not like Arrested Development makes it out to be.
No, it's much less awesome than anything you can imagine. And this kind of nailed some of this. Kind of had a real jail energy to it.
That's good to know. That's good they nailed something.
So then we got who I believe is the secretary of Robert Loggia. He's the old man, the grandfather's secretary. I don't know why the secretary would be doing this, but the secretary's at the jail and he's trying to have.
No, isn't it the lawyer?
Yeah. No, maybe he's the lawyer. I thought he was the secretary. Either way, this guy.
I think it was the same guy he was trying.
Yeah, he's the handler of the paperwork handler.
Yes.
So he now shows up at jail and says, "Listen, Stallone, give us the boy and we'll forget about everything else." Right? And Stallone goes, "Oh, geez. I don't really want to do that, but that sounds like a pretty solid deal you're throwing at me." Okay.
Yeah.
Deal.
Everything that they've been through and this whole, 60 minutes of the movie up until this point just throws it away. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
More sad. We got sad piano music setting the tone, and now Stallone is trying to have. He has one last, what he thinks is going to be the last conversation he has with his son, where he's like, "I just want you to know, I'm a terrible father, and I tried to murder your grandfather 23 hours ago with my truck, and I'm sorry about that, but I'm not sorry."
Really hoping he was answering the door by himself, but here we are.
So sorry about all the death and destruction that you may have witnessed over the past couple days under my supervision, but I'm going to give you up to your grandpa now.
And then, then that's it, right?
Yeah, well, so the kid leaves with the sad piano music, really, really epically, and then, God, this kid cracks me up. Wait, hold on. He says, I believe one of the lines he says to the kid, he wants to give you what's inside of me, which is another thing I don't understand.
I am so glad you wrote that too.
Yeah, I'm so glad you wrote that too. We should get matching tattoos. So, we got more of Stallone now. We have another montage of him lifting while he's driving.
I've got something inside me I want to give to the only person who means something to me. What does that?
Yeah, I don't know, dude. He's trying to make love to his son.
Stallone definitely wrote that line.
I'm not supposed to say that out loud, but I think he's trying to make love to his son. But so as this is going on, there's a double montage now happening with Stallone out of jail. Yes. He's getting ready for his arm wrestling competition, and now we got short shorts. Yeah, we got short shorts. Well, yeah, this kid got Dick Grayson short shorts on for some reason. That's what he reminds me of, Robin. He's like, oh.
Well, it's the 80s, dude. Everybody has short shorts.
Yeah, I guess so. That's true. A lot of pictures of my father in the 80s are hilarious. But
I'm setting the trend. I'm bringing them back this summer. I'm going 80s short.
Let's do it, dude. I'm in. But so the kid finds the letters, and there's more epic stuff.
Why? Right? Like, if I'm the grandfather and you don't want communication from the dad,
that's a great
save
point.
The letters. You save them. Just throw them away. You don't even have to burn them or do anything crazy.
Yeah, no, he stockpiles them creepily. What? So he can laugh over them and be like, ha ha ha.
Right. It makes no sense.
No.
I don't get it.
Yeah, Stallone definitely has a writing credit in this movie. That's for sure. You can see that.
Well, in this same montage, Stallone sells the truck too, because he gets $7 grand for that truck, which I don't know, fair market prices for trucks. Is that? I don't know. Is a real donkey truck? Maybe.
In the 80s, that was
He beat the
probably a
crap
nice
out of
little payoff, but it still was probably on the low end, I'm assuming. Right?
it. Possibly. Yeah.
So
I mean, he did beat the crap out of it. I mean, he drove through a
yeah, he
building.
tried to murder several people with it. That probably
Yeah.
took down the value. But ultimately, you're right. He sells the truck and he takes the money and bets on himself, which I believe the odds are 20-1, which is impressive. 20-1.
I thought. Yeah, it might have even been worse than that. But
Yeah, trying to
I
come
think you're
back
right.
from
I think
that's crazy.
And then I don't know if you caught it, but so the men's championship, their prize is $100,000 and a truck, which I guess if you said it is the truck driving division, it makes more sense in my head. But did you catch the women's prize? Because they do say it.
No, what is it?
50K.
Ah, well, I have two daughters, so I'm supposed to say that's wrong. I'm supposed to say that, but I don't know
Listen,
how.
all I'm saying is I don't think I could beat any of the female arm wrestlers entered in any competition.
That's true. That's true. I'm not saying that I'm better. I'm just saying I don't think people were buying tickets to go see the ladies.
It's fair.
They wanted to see Bull.
I guess I'm mostly impressed that they were able to get $100,000 worth of people wanting to see
That's true.
like the men's.
That's
Like-
true. Well, so as this is going on now, he's getting ready for the competition, and now we're back to the kid who realizes that Stallone was a good dad this whole time, and now runs away. Here we go. He's running away again. He ran away to a place to run away from it, again. Oh my God, this kid is such like a fickle. He's like, you ever date well, you've been married for a while, but this is like dating a fickle girl who doesn't know where she wants to eat, and like we're just crying and the scenery's changing, but nothing ever changes. It's the same routine every single time. Just crying and oh God, I hate this kid.
The drinking game for this movie is, I think it's drink every time there's a exterior shot of a truck. I think you've got to drink every time he turns his hat around, and then I think it's a shot every time the kid runs away. So you're hammered the whole film.
Yeah, you're wasted
it's
20 minutes into this movie, and by this point, you need dialysis.
He's running again away from another group of people.
Yes.
But the funniest thing to me about going on in the other part of the story is all the guys that are getting ready for their arm wrestling competition are preparing by weightlifting, which I don't understand.
It's all visual now. Now we're just playing. Now I love this part of the movie because it turns into this weird pseudo documentary.
Yes,
where you have crews that are interviewing people in the arm wrestling contest, and I actually thought they pulled it off. I thought the camera work was well done.
It looks a little grainier in this shot when they're doing like the camera.
It looks like sports cameras of that era.
Yes.
Yeah, and I really like it. There's
a lot of sweeping over the top shots, kind of like spiraling and getting everything at once. Like
it's getting a lot of people in a weird room excited about these arm wrestlers, and so this is going on, and there's a car chase happening between the kid who has stolen a vehicle, right?
The truck, yes.
He stole the truck, and he's being chased. And I have in my notes, is this kid driving across state lines?
I think so, yeah.
This is super felonious.
Well, he drives to an airport.
Yeah, he drives. Dude, this is crazy. And I love that this is so great. It's called the Arm Wrestling World Championship Competition. It seems like a lot of words to say arm wrestling competition.
Well, you got to get the world in there so that everybody knows.
Arm Wrestling World Championship Competition.
I feel like competition is the word.
Yeah, probably the unnecessary word there.
Well, that was probably, again, a Stallone writing credit. They're going to need to know it's a competition. If we just write Arm Wrestling Championship, they're going to think they won't know.
And there's some producer that was like, sure, bud, whatever you say.
Yeah, okay.
Make Sly happy, guys. So then we get There's an announcer repeatedly saying, "If you lose once, you still have a second chance. You gotta lose twice." It's very
They'd say
important.
this every 15 minutes for the next
Mm-hmm.
40, what feels like
Yeah, I
6
think we're in
hours.
like
But
the
last,
last 40, 35 minutes of this movie, and they're really
so it's
beating
probably
that
every
in.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got two chances to lose, right? We got sweet music again. Everybody's so sweaty.
Yo, did you catch? So when I talked about the vague music that oddly describes what's going on, this scene here, the one, this might be the Loggins one. I don't know. It says the line is "Winner takes it all, loser takes a fall. Fight to the beginning of the end." Just super vague lyrics that
You know
fit.
what? I think
Like,
that's that might be the Hagar one. And not that
that
it
could
really
be.
matters, honestly, but
It does when I looked it up later to listen to it in my
it.
spare time.
Yeah, whenever I'm doing something sweet and I need accompanying music.
Yeah, yeah. This might be a conversation for another time, but opening music if you're a pro wrestler, go.
Oh man. Honestly, probably something I wrote. I'm a really, I'm obsessed with myself, so probably some piece of music that you can check out over at my Instagram right here, Monster the Human Suit. Good stuff. Anywho,
Well, the reason I brought that because up until this point, I mean, this could be my new intro music. Up until this point, I was going to go with "Brand New Key" by Melanie. I feel like that really.
that's a good one. That's a
I
good one.
got a brand new pair. I think the
Yeah.
crowd could really get into that. I think good pump up music.
You can also probably come off as like a psychopath with that too. That would be a good "I'm a crazy person" kind of energy. I don't know.
But I think this gives it a running though because it is just it's just bad. It's just really bad. Um,
So wait, in this shot right here, are we seeing? Excuse me. So we see the kid trying to escape through an airport, and while that's going on, there's an arm wrestling match. Did I see someone's arm get broken? Did someone's arm get snapped? And he's like, "Oh, you broke my arm!"
every time it goes to that scene, I know it's coming, and I still
Yeah,
cringe. I
the
mean,
crunch and everything. It literally, really is gnarly.
yeah, yeah, but I mean, it adds the imagery, just like the lifting to go wrestle. I
Oh,
guess
they're
makes
so
sense.
sweaty. They're
Mu-
so
Muscle
sweaty.
fatigue isn't a thing in this movie, by the way.
Everybody
Because
in the arm wrestling competition looks like our dads. By the way, I just want every single person there looks like one of my buddies' dads. And I got a huge kick out. I don't know if you know if people listening to this outside of Pittsburgh. There's the Pittsburgh dad is hilarious. There's definitely a character that is a lot of the dads in this city, and I feel like that's the energy of all the people in this arm wrestling competition. They all look like my friends' dads.
they all also look like they are hopped up on a thing that was really big in the 80s. Coffee. Um,
Yeah, coffee.
uh,
We love coffee. They're so sweaty.
top five had to be top five smelliest scenes in cinema history is just that end shot of them
Oh
wrestling with
yeah,
all the
dude.
sweat and the men. It's like that scene and the dinner scene at Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes.
And
They look
there's
like
there's
they
a couple
smell
others
very
in there.
similarly. I agree
But
with you. So
it
wait,
had to be awful.
we got this Make-A-Wish Bruce Buffer that is this ring announcer that's just really, and you said it before, but now he's really beating into everyone's head. Double elimination. That's important to the story, folks. As this is going on, we got a kid hiding in luggage in a plane. Is he going to fly across a state in a luggage bag?
Yeah, I think so I was trying to piece that together too, because this is where it gets a little unclear. Because he steals the truck and he drives it to an airport because he gets yelled at.
Yes.
Guy says you can't park it there, and he
Hiding,
says,
yeah.
He says just take it, or then
Yeah.
keep it.
I don't care. I'm a kid. Here's a car.
So- Yeah, I think he does get on the plane because I think he notices
Dude, I have no idea what's going on. I know it's like a Scooby-Doo montage of a child running
Yeah,
away
yes.
from bad guys,
And
and
there's the
I'm
baggage
concerned
claim.
that they're chasing him across state lines
I don't think he drove across state lines. I think he drove to an airport. But
to fly across state lines. Where is
to
this kid
fly to
going?
Vegas? Yeah, I think he did. He flew to Vegas and then got a taxi from Vegas to the competition.
What?
I think.
It's
Yeah.
so insane. And as this is going on, we got uh they announced the truckers division, by the way, with this Bruce Buffer, Make-A-Wish Bruce Buffer talks about the truckers division. I got a crack up out of that. And one of the guys straight up eats a cigar, just puts it out in his mouth and eats a cigar. And this guy is insane, and he's going to be back again to do more insane stuff later in this movie.
Um, this is where we're getting like the can interviews, right? Everybody's
Yes.
talking to the screen.
Yeah, and they're also doing they're setting up the final 4, the final 8, or whatever the count is. They're getting those guys and making sure you know that they're good at arm wrestling.
This is where we get Bull Hurley's line about arm wrestling right before the game,
where he
when he's
just
like,
he just says shit like 5 times.
no, where he's I drive truck,
Oh,
break
yes.
arms, and arm wrestle.
Yeah, this is
What
a
I
good
love
one.
to do, and I do it. What's he say? And I do it best. Like,
Yeah,
that's,
dude. I'm gonna cripple you, and I enjoy doing that. And then I'm gonna ride
And
in
I
my
enjoy
truck
doing
because that's what my life is about, and you better appreciate it. It's so insane. This is so, and they say over the top again in this montage, which cracks me up. They say it again while the kid's being a ninja, hiding in Scooby Doo, going from one door out another door. We got hey, go over the top, and you go sweaty guys. There's a lot happening in this chunk of the movie, dude.
And I'll say it. Stallone should have won. He should have lost that competition. There's multiple times in this where he just blatantly cheated. One, the over the top finger roll adjustment thing.
Mm-hmm.
That can't be legal. Two, there's a shot where he's fighting probably the only guy closest to him in size is that one black guy that's in there.
Yeah.
There's the only bit
The
of
only
race in this
black
whole
character
movie.
in the movie.
Yeah.
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 Which is funny too,
and-
because I don't even think they give him an honorable spot there, because even he kind of comes off heelish with Stallone, because he
Yeah.
punches him or something. He takes a cheap
No,
shot. At him.
Stallone. He I think they're queued up to wrestle, and Stallone just is like bam and slams his hand down on the table.
Oh
And then
yeah,
now
you're right.
he
You're
starts
right.
to complain, rightfully so, because he didn't even have enough time to like.
Yeah, you're right.
set
No,
him.
they just did
They
him
start,
dirty.
like,
That's what it was.
they just send him away. Like,
Yeah, but you know what though? We didn't talk about this. Is where Stallone gets his first loss. Before we get to that guy,
does that mean he's out of the competition?
let me check in with my Make-A-Wish Bruce Buffer that's next to me. He's saying that it's a double elimination challenge and you have to lose twice to be eliminated.
Oh, that's what double elimination means.
Yes. I thank you for reminding me, because I almost forgot.
I was worried. Okay, so he lost once.
Yeah, he loses once, and it really sucks the energy out of the vibe. Everyone's
Really?
real bummed out about it. We got Robert Loggia and Terry Funk. Finally, he loses, and this is Stallone losing. He's at his low point, and they set up. Now, the grandfather goes, let's have a meeting right after your first loss, right? So he goes up to meet the grandfather, and he basically says, I'll pay you off. You don't even have to win this competition. You're probably going to lose. You suck. Everyone hates you. You're a bad father. You almost killed my grandson 58 times in the past 3 days. I'll give you $1 billion gazillion dollars if you just stay away from my family. And Stallone,
He just wants him to leave the state. He just wants. him to,
just go away. Go away,
Yeah.
you felonious, murderous psychopath. Stay away from my family. And Stallone shuts it down and has a sweet interaction with my boy Terry Funk, where Terry Funk says his line and Stallone punches him through a door, I believe.
Yeah, he like, does he punch him or does he throw him?
I think it was a left hook. I don't think he's using his right arm because he's using that for the competition. He's throwing a lot of left hooks in this movie.
Well, this is right after his loss where he thinks he tore his bicep.
Yes. Well,
Which,
I think when he wrestles or when he arm wrestles a skinny dude, he does it real fast. I think that's when he hurts himself.
but then I think right after that, yeah, I think you're right. It starts, but then after that, his loss. That's when he's really like, I
Uh-huh.
think I tore. He's all wrapped up, and then he manages to throw a man through plate glass door. Um,
Yeah, dude. They did Terry Funk dirty. That made me so upset. I was like, oh, they should have done him a little bit better. But now we cut to the craziest thing, and I had mentioned it briefly earlier. You got Grizzly, one of the final four guys. He's literally drinking engine oil. He says he goes, I'm drinking gasoline, and then drinks engine oil instead. It makes no sense. But this guy's gonna die before the end of the day, right? Probably. Isn't that a Mussolini killed people? He made them drink motor oil. So here we go. The kid's in another taxi. We're back. Everyone's still so sweaty. There's a lot of screaming and crunching noises during this.
did you catch the amount of cups that are under the seats? Like, remember, there's that one panning shot as he's like icing his. There's just like a whole,
it's so yeah. The people just chucking their garbage everywhere.
just throwing it. I gotta love the old times, right?
People are so trash. So this also ultimately leads us to the epic Final Four, right? We're here at the Final Four, and this kid is now at the competition, right? The child finally makes it to the competition after his car chase and his airport chase and all his fun stuff. And he gets to sit down with Stallone right before his final confrontation, right? And he got this weird shirt on. Stallone got this like weird half shirt on. It comes down here.
He's icing. Yeah, he got like a something on his bicep or whatever.
Yeah,
right? 'Cause he's
and basically he in a very classy way, a very man's man way, tells his son to kiss him on the mouth. No, he tells his son that he's probably going to lose because he hurt himself, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
While this is going on, there's just shots of him like growling and being sweaty, which I always enjoy.
Goes back to the the interviews. This is where Hawk explains the hat turnaround.
Mm-hmm. Where we get the $100,000 to the winner and a truck to the winner. Bull's talking more trash. And then this is where Stallone explains where he turns around the hat, and that's when business time. That means business time. We got I love this. So this is it. This is the final confrontation between Stallone and Bull, the main bad guy that harassed his son at the beginning. Now full circle, it's going to be Bull and Stallone.
Yeah, because he wanted to wrestle him back then, first Steiner.
Yeah, but Stallone said, wait till Vegas.
Like, save it for Vegas.
Save it for Vegas. So they got some of the most epic eyes, some of the most epic facial expressions in the scene. They both killing it. And they have to do this weird, I guess he slips out, right?
Twice. He slipped...
more Stallone cheating. He probably should have lost.
Again, it's more Stallone cheating because I think they say something about like grip or slipping out of the grip.
Yeah, that there's it's against the rules or I don't know, but they basically pull out the sudden death strap, right?
Oh, because there he is. He's lined up and just started. Like they've already started, and Stallone goes and like plays on because of his arm. So they gets pulled off twice, but. Yeah, that's a cheat. He should have just been disqualified. But yes, then they pull out like how barbers sharpen their straight razors, just this big old strap of leather.
Yeah. That's exactly what it's like. And then this is where the Bull punches Stallone in the face.
Totally deserved. It was after the second slip.
Yeah, totally punches him in the face. They get the strap. And then they play this like really creepy alarm kind of music. Like it sounds like an alarm. It's really kind of disturbing. And Stallone got a bloody nose. They got these great faces. Bull is so much bigger than him too, right? Like he is
like a head in height.
Crazy bigger than him. And the commentator, this guy, the knockoff Bruce Buffer, is cracking me up the whole time, right? Like, this is still so funny. But here, back to your thing again. I hate this so much. The stupid grip adjustment, the over-the-top thing again. Comes into play. How do you do that with a strap?
No idea. No idea. And to your point, the most egregious offense of the I almost got you down, okay, I'm going to give you something, is the end one. Like, instead, he almost goes back to where he had to change the grip.
Oh, dude. It's so epic, though. Can we at least admit that this is epic and so cool?
This movie is more, it relies less on plot or character development or really story of any kind. It's more for the more important things, just the awesome shots of action for no reason, right?
And this is like a 5-minute arm wrestling scene. It goes on so long, right? And the faces, and they're going back and forth. It really is so epic. If you haven't watched this movie, it is so great, right? Like, I mean, this whole section of the movie is so cool. But we're here. It's so awesome, and he does the adjustment, pulls back, defeats the evil bull, right? The music changes to this super happy music, right? Everybody loses their mind, of course. And right away, because of this victory, it means he won his son.
Yeah. All right. So,
help me understand this, Adam.
I don't understand. I got a lot of problems with the ending, much like I think he shouldn't have won. We don't know if Bull lost already. Because up until that point...
You're right.
We haven't seen Bull lose, and correct me if I'm wrong.
They should have done it again.
Competition was double elimination.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's such a good point, dude. I honestly didn't even catch that. That's so. Oh my god, you're right.
No one else that they focus on loses. All
right, let's just play it safe and assume that the guy who ate cigars and drank motor oil got a quick victory or something because.
Maybe. Okay, so he wins the truck and he wins the stuff, but there's no resolve between him and the grandfather. Just a teary-eyed look, sort of, across the thing.
Yeah, where the grandfather just kind of silently acknowledges, like, well, I guess that means he won the kid back.
Despite the legal documents in my hand saying otherwise, right?
Well, I think Stallone had made a remark that, like, with this money, I'll be able to fight you in court, and if that's the case, I got you. But, like... he wins the arm wrestling competition, and the son's like, I choose my dad. And Robert Loggia's like, I guess he wins. And then you're right. That's it. There's nothing after that. It's a still frame where he's like, ah, and then credits and it's over. Right? Am I missing something?
No, I mean, and I guess we're not dealing with super deep subject material. So, I mean, I wasn't expecting like a, Macbeth rot with guilt type conclusion or some crazy stuff, but there's nothing. Maybe that's the best way to reconcile abandonment issues, arm wrestling, and truck driving.
Yeah, anybody I got beef with my life, I'm gonna be like, listen, arm wrestle, right?
If your problems ever get so bad that they can't be solved with a giant arm wrestling competition in Las Vegas, then you really fucked up.
Also, anybody who's looking to get custody of their children, underground arm wrestling competitions seem to be the way to do that. So look into that. All right, so we're here. We're finally at the end of this ridiculous journey. Would you tell people that this is a good movie, Adam?
I make people watch this movie.
So I'm assuming, yes, you would. You would say. In fact,
I don't ever tell them good or bad. I preface it with this: it is to win back custody of his son. Sylvester Stallone has to drive his truck across country and win an arm wrestling competition in Las Vegas. Are you interested? And there's usually met with of confusion, and then we play the film. And no, it's objectively speaking, it's a bad film, but it's a great film. I mean, I've watched it probably 10 times.
I got to be honest with you, Adam. Unless I'm talking about this movie with another guy like you who loves movie like this, or like my older brother or something, I can't imagine sitting down to watch this film with anybody else other than another dude like myself to enjoy this.
Oh my god, dude, really?
I love it. I love it, but I think trying to sit down with a girl or my kids and try to be like, hey, watch this movie, I think it would be met with a ton of very, very obvious and understood resistance.
I think in that setting, no, definitely not. I think you do have to build it up as
you have to like these kinds of movies to like this movie. Yeah. But if you do, it really, dude, just man, the sweaty camera shots, dude. The growling, the facial expressions, the weird catchphrases. It seemed to make sense. I don't know why, but it flowed right.
If it's paced well, it goes fast enough. I've seen other this level bad movies that really drag because either
for the 90 minutes is pretty solid.
It's pretty good. I mean, I've done some bad movie nights with people where I've made, we've watched this in Bloodsport or this in Young Bloods or so you gotta, I think, go into it with like this is just silly, goofy. But again, that's kind of the whole point, right?
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
I want movies to be like Cocaine Bear is. I want them to be goofy again. I guess people
I have to see Cocaine
Bear. Tired
Bear.
of chasing the Oscar. You got to see Cocaine Bear.
I guess I'm gonna go see.
Elizabeth Banks directed it, which it blows my mind. I can't wrap my head around that, but it's a return to the fun for just fun's sake, which
I like that. So. I like that a lot. All right, so I guess we're both gonna say yes. We would tell people to watch this movie under particular circumstances.
If you preface it right, or I mean, I make people have people come over here and ask what I want to watch, which is their big mistake, because then I just put on stuff like that or really messed up movies like Martyr.
Well, luckily for you, Adam, you got me, buddy, and we'll go down this journey all the time together. I want to thank everybody for giving us their time and listening to us ramble for a crazy amount of time about such a crazy movie. But
did we do it? Is our runtime right now longer than the movie?
I think yes.
That should be our goal.
I'm pretty sure. If not, we're close. If we're not over, we're close. We actually just talked. We just described the movie scene by scene in perfect time with the movie. But
you'll notice the bird in the top right corner sweeping to the left now as the truck makes it.
Oh, hey, Adam. Someone just drove through my house. I gotta skedaddle. But thank you for doing this with me, Adam, and I'm looking forward to doing it again. And thank you to everybody who took the time to sit down and listen to this. We really appreciate it.
We appreciate your single viewership because
there's one guy just like us.
That one guy that's
dressed
also
like us, who wants to be
11
us.
At night. Just like, I'll watch it, fine.
All right, I guess they said so.
Tell your friends. We want to do this more. Well, we'll do it more regardless. But.
Yeah, we're going to do it whether you like it or not, people. You may as well just dig in. Buckle up, buckaroo.
The more people that do watch it, production value should improve.
Yes, right? And we will, if you want to leave a comment, if you want to send us a message, if you have an idea for us, our ears are always open. Anybody who's willing to give us some love and support, we really appreciate that. Adam, I would like to leave you with something today. Adam, there are a lot of things worse than movies. Politicians, wars, forest fires, famine, plague, sickness, pain, warts, politicians.
You said that one already.
I know I did, but they're twice as bad as anything else. Thank you, everybody. Like and share, and give us some love, and we'll see you soon with our next movie.
Do you have any ideas? I think I gave the nod for this one. What do you want our homework to be for the next one?
Well, I have some ideas, but they're secret. They're dirty secret ideas that we'll
talk about later.
I want to send you messages privately about because they're so secret.
Can I sleep on your shoulder?
Yes. While I sleep on your shoulder. All right. Yes. Thanks, everybody. And we're out.